Welcome to the Bomba Pod. I'm your host, Martin Bomba, and each week we bring you meaningful conversations with guests who uplift, inspire, and encourage you to become the very best version of yourself. Whether you're chasing a dream, building something new, or just looking for a spark of motivation, you're in the right place. Produced by Dennis Ayotte and proudly supported by Window World and PJ's Coffee of New Orleans. Let's grow together. Let's be inspired. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to the Bomba Pod. We're going to have some fun today. My friend Bill Taylor from KENS 5 is sitting down with us, and he is a man of many hats, and we're going to kind of dig into that today. I wanted to sit down and have this conversation with Bill for some time, and I'm glad that we finally got him here. Bill, thanks for being on the Bomba Pod.
Man, thank you so much, Martin. This is great. I love this podcast. This is beautiful.
Well,
this
thank
chair's
you.
comfortable, everything about it.
Oh, yeah.
Man, this is nice.
We joke that it's
done.
A podcast studio brought to you by Amazon. and I think the chairs may be the only things that didn't come from Amazon.
But the logo, I love the logo.
Thank Lead Hub for that one.
Yeah, that's good work.
They did a bang-up job on the logo and getting the feel of the show and understanding the tenor of the show. And our producer, Dennis Ayotte, is just top notch.
Yeah, congratulations. This is really nice. So thanks for having me.
Well, thanks.
I'm really excited to be here.
Thanks. I told another guest, I said, for the longest time, people said, "Oh, you got to do a podcast. You got to do a podcast."
Yeah.
And coming from broadcast in radio, we thought podcasts were malarkey. We thought they weren't going to be around.
Yeah.
And, it's just your 15 minutes of fame. Anybody can do it. Blah blah blah. Oh boy, was I wrong.
I got into them. It's driving. I really enjoy a good podcast when on the road.
Me too.
I've got a daughter up in Denton, so that's a good 4 hours to 5 hours on I-35.
Yeah.
We've got family in Louisiana, and also now my youngest is in Florida, and road trips need podcasts, and now the visual part of it. Us TV guys love that.
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to be on camera.
Absolutely.
I'm in. I never met a camera I didn't love. So I mean, it's just a matter of wow. Okay, we're kind of transforming into this space where it's a lot more video and audio as well, right?
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And with the video, it opens you up to a whole new audience.
Mm-hmm.
People that are engaging differently than they are just listening to audio. But if you're just an audio listener and you're listening during windshield time, it's there for you too. So best of both worlds.
It really is. It really is. And there's so many good ones out there. Things you should know. Have you ever listened to that one?
I know of it.
It's a good one.
But that one I wanted. The ones I listen to are like Armchair Expert.
Armchair Expert with
Dak
Shepard.
The one,
a good one.
Smartless.
Smartless is genius, man.
Funny,
Those guys.
genius.
Jason Bateman's one of the most gifted people I've ever seen.
In every way.
You know what I'm saying?
It's unfair to be as talented as he is.
No, it really is. I mean, right? How did that guy, from comedy to drama,
Would you have
he's
ever
amazing.
believed it? I mean, when you saw him when he was coming up on television,
right? What was that first? Was it not Family Ties?
It was
not Silver Spoons.
We can't even. Was it Silver Spoons?
No, that was Ricky
it wasn't.
Schroeder.
And it wasn't Family Ties.
Oh man, I can't think of the show he was on, but he was a kid actor.
But yeah,
and his sister
Justine was on Family Ties.
She was Family Ties.
She was a sister.
That's
she
right.
was
Okay.
Mallory on Family Ties.
That's it. That's right.
But Jason, during that time, he was like the younger, kind of not as well known brother.
Right.
Oh, did that change?
Right. And then you look at child actors and how that flips life.
Yeah.
And the farthest from normal. And so many don't navigate that well.
They get taken under.
They get to be adults and they're just all sideways. And he kept everything good. I don't know what his secret was, if he's ever even talked about that, but why, you know what I mean? Because it is such a different life.
He's a very private guy. If you really listen to the conversations that he has, he's very private about a lot of things, especially his relationship with Justine. And so, there are some things I'm sure we don't know about him. But it is amazing that he's been able to keep a level head, wear so many different hats in so many different areas: comedy, drama, podcast, television, movies.
All of everything he involves himself with, he does with excellence.
It's all good.
Yeah,
it's Ozark, one of my favorites of all time.
Seriously, that show was gripping.
Very much so.
I was enthralled. And see, I'm old school. we come from a generation. You got the episodes once a week.
Yeah, right.
And it was one
There
and
was
done.
no binging.
There was no binging. And so I never binged.
No.
I loved I preserved Ozark, but it's changed conversations. This is the thing that really hurts with, streaming shows. It's like you start talking, hey, you watching Ozark? Yeah, where are you? Second season. Oh, man, I'm in third, so I can't. All right, talk to me later. Or, you know what I'm saying? You cut it off. There's and hardly anybody, unless you're watching it with them, is on the exact episode you're on.
That's true.
Everybody's different.
That's
and so
true.
You're just like, well, we can't talk about it now.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Right?
People don't like the spoilers.
Right. But that show, wow, that was heavy, bro.
Very heavy.
Right?
Very heavy. And then his follow-up, Black Rabbit, I don't know if you watched
I haven't. Have you watched that?
It's even heavier.
Is it really?
In some ways. In some ways. It's very dark.
Yeah.
And it's a relational thing between him and his brother on the show. Jude Law plays his brother.
Jude Law. Wow.
And I mean,
he's a heavy hitter.
Stellar show. But similar to Ozark, but different.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it.
Is it a Netflix one as well? Or is it
was that Netflix?
Hulu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dennis is shaking his head. Yeah, that's a Netflix deal.
Yeah, that one is the newer one.
But I agree with you. Back when we used to have appointment television.
Yeah.
You had what was it? TGIF.
TGIF or Must See Thursday.
Or Must See Thursdays.
When you had a lineup of Friends, Seinfeld, ER. I mean, NBC was the king back then. And I worked at an NBC affiliate in Montgomery, Alabama. Yeah. And that was when Jamie and I first got married. We got married in 94. And so
it's when Debbie and I got married.
Are you serious?
Same year. Yeah.
What month?
December.
November.
All right.
Wow.
Nice.
We got to get together.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
absolutely.
Awesome. We'll
so what, 32 years this year?
Yeah. Yeah.
32?
We're 94. And so you were 94.
32 years.
Wow. Just after us. We were in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Where would you guys get married?
We got married in Fredericksburg, Texas. Texas.
Yeah.
And so it's always been one of our places that anniversary after anniversary.
You go up to Fred? Okay.
Yeah. And I think
we're going with.
On the big biggies, we've gone somewhere like Costa Rica or a cruise or something like that, the 10s, the 20s, and the 30s. But everything else almost
in between
exclusively has been
back
there.
to Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
Where did you meet your wife?
Oh, that's a great question. See, that's what happens when you get on with a TV guy.
They start interviewing.
They start flipping the script on you. That's what happens.
Sorry, man. I know. Right? We're here with Martin Bomba.
No, that's the one thing that you learn as I think as a host, and you're so good at it whenever you have people on.
Thank you.
Is the show's not about you at that point; it's about them.
Always,
and it's got to be
100%.
If people just wanted to watch me, I'd already be famous.
There's not too many solo podcasts that are surviving, right?
Or not.
Right. It's me, Martin, again. And today, here's my thoughts on, right? I mean, those are radio talk show hosts, I guess.
It would have a shelf life. It would have a shelf life. But how I met my wife? Okay, I'm not trying to dodge the question. It's
thanks. No,
it's a good question. I used to joke about how I met my wife, and I won't repeat that here because it would make her very angry.
Good choice.
But as we were married longer and longer, I realized, quit beating your head against that wall. She's never going to think that's funny. So
it hasn't landed once.
It hasn't landed once, not a single time. But no. She and I met. I had been married before, as I like to call it, my starter marriage. I had been divorced for about a year and a half, maybe a little longer. I was in that stage of my life where I was still a little bitter and didn't want anything to do with any relationship. Period.
No dating. I don't need anybody. Like I'm turning off.
I had a young daughter who I had custody of, and who's 35 now, and I just didn't want anything to do with it. Well, a buddy of mine calls me up one evening. I guess it was on a Friday or a Saturday. He says, "Hey, Martin, you going out with us?" And he and his wife. And I said, "No, I'm not." I said, I've got a TV show I want to watch tonight, and I'm just hanging at the house.
It's Must See Thursday, bro.
But yeah. What are you trying to interrupt my flow here? And anyway, somehow he convinced me. It may or may not have involved alcohol, but he convinced me, and we went to this house party at an apartment on the north side. And as it turns out, Debbie's sister was the one who was throwing the party.
Hosting. Okay.
Debbie was there with a friend from work, who I thought was a boyfriend or a date.
Oh, okay.
It was not. It was just a friend, but I had no idea. So then Bessie, my friend's wife, and Rebecca, after that night, they said, "Oh, that'd be really good together." And then they started playing matchmaker. Oh, Debbie said she thought you were really cute.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, she wants
Yeah.
to meet you.
Yeah.
And then she got the same thing. Oh, Martin really, really, really wants to meet you. And I threw a party. I threw a little barbecue at my house the next weekend, and she and her sister came. And that evening, we got parents to watch the kiddos. She had a daughter as well, within a month of my daughter's age.
Oh, wow.
And then we went out on a date, and I don't know that we've spent a whole lot of time apart since then.
Wow.
We got married people think it's crazy, but we got married about 4 or 5 months later.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But you know.
When you know, you know. We got nervous with Peyton, our youngest. It was the exact same. Met this young man at church. I actually knew him before she really started hanging out with him. And 19 years old, and within 4 months, they're like, yeah, we're going to get married.
Wow.
He asked me, I never had this one, can I date your daughter?
Asked if you could.
I was like,
if
yeah.
you could
And this
date
is my
your daughter.
youngest. 3 girls. No one has ever asked if they could date. And so I was taken back. I'm like, well, sure, absolutely. Great young man.
She has
Drummer.
to say yes.
That was the best.
She has to say yes.
Right. She has to say yes. But the worst part, I was like, he's a drummer.
He's a drummer?
honey.
Oh,
you
I
stay
like
away
that
from
too.
musicians. You stay away, especially the drummers.
Yeah, we're
But
bad.
no, they
We're not good.
fell in love early, and it was within 5 months they got married. And he's Air Force, and they're in Florida because he's stationed at Hobart Field next to Eglin Air Force Base.
And how long ago was this?
November.
Just November.
Yeah, November.
Like just.
Yeah, they're newlyweds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she just turned 20 in March, and so
God, that's so young.
yeah, it
So
really
young.
is. And they're gonna have a baby. They're also now pregnant.
Well,
So I'm like, okay,
they're growing up with
they're
they
going
want to
fast,
or not.
man. And I knew because they wanted to get married so that because he was enlisting in the United States Air Force, they knew that when they were dating, and so they said, if we're gonna do this, I mean, he's gonna get an assignment. We love each other. We don't want to be dating and do the distance thing.
Yeah.
Let's get married, and so it rolled fast. And I just kept saying, like, the first assignment was Ramstein, Germany.
Oh, wow.
And when we
That's-
got those orders, it was like wedding was November 14th, wheels up November 19th. They're going to Germany. And I remember saying, like,
So you
now,
lost
Peyton,
your baby girl for real.
fast, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful that the orders got changed. And they ended up going to Fort Walton Beach instead. So, like I said, they're in Florida
Much
now.
more convenient assignment for the
much
grandparents.
More. Yes, we were just there for spring break. Spent the week with them. They're in great shape. They got a great place to live in, and really enjoying the time out there, by themselves. But back when it was Germany and everything was happening so fast, I was really like, Peyton, you sure? You sure? And I remember one morning I'm out on a walk with Jamie, my wife, and I'm like, I told her, babe, if you get too nervous, you tell me. If you want out of this, you tell me, and we'll make it happen. And Jamie's like, don't. That's you. That's your fear. And I was like,
Don't put
man,
that on
she
me.
checked me. Yeah. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's a good point. I think a lot of this has to do with me. She's like, don't put that in, that there's just this easy way out, because I mean, she's committing to it. She's going to be okay. And if there's doubts, that's when you start.
Sounds like a young lady
praying
with a
and
good
figuring
head
it
on her
out.
shoulders.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like to me.
it is.
And I mean, age is just a number. It's cliche, obviously, but in many ways it is. I mean, I've known some 40-year-olds that never grew up, and I've also known some 20-year-olds that were mature way beyond their years.
Absolutely.
So good on her.
Yeah,
And she's finding happiness early. That's
she
awesome.
really is, and she's doing really well out there, thriving. She's substitute teaching at the local school district there. Like I said, just turned 20 and is now going into her second trimester.
Wow.
So it'll be our second grandchild.
This is number 2.
Number 2. So
Okay.
Carissa, our oldest, has a 5-month-old.
Oh,
Yeah, so we just became grandparents 5 months ago.
okay.
Yeah.
So you're getting the hang of it now, and
Yep.
by then the new one will be here.
Be a
and-
little more, and it's the best, man.
yeah.
Are you a grandpa?
Oh
yet?
gosh, yeah.
Isn't it?
I've got 5.
You've got 5.
I've got 5 grandkids.
Well, then I've got to take notes, bro.
16 all the way down to
Oh, you got it.
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So see, that's
So I had
the
a daughter.
dynamic.
I had a daughter that got started early too.
Right, okay.
She was 19 when she got married.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Same
That
as
was
Peyton.
not such a good deal,
Okay.
but nonetheless,
Yeah.
ended up with one of my just biggest blessings of my life.
He's
my
a boy or
granddaughter.
girl? A granddaughter is 16.
Her name's
Okay.
Layla.
Layla.
Yeah, and in fact, we've got a new TV campaign that's going to start in April, and we just shot this a couple of weeks ago, and all of my grandkids are in it.
Yes.
All of it, every vignette, there's one of the grandkids in it.
Awesome.
So it's going to be fun.
Look for the Bomba grandkids on KENS 5.
The next.
Okay,
see what you did there. I see what you did
Had
there.
to take that. That's awesome. No, I love that you've always involved, your family, you and your wife standing on the window. And, I just love that. I love when I see local, celebrating family, celebrating local business, celebrating, all of it in one, because it really becomes important, right?
Some of my favorite businesses, period, are family businesses.
Yeah.
That have been around for a long time. That their parents taught the kids well enough that the kids could take over and do well with it. And then if you're really lucky, a couple more generations. And so
haven't
on.
we seen that a lot here?
We have.
I love.
I can think right off.
Cantwell mattress, and which one of my favorite slogans. You can't well sleep without a Cantwell mattress. That's one of the best.
Corpus Company.
Are they? Oh, they're originally Corpus
They're
Christi.
a coastal bend company.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about a company that really bootstrapped it.
But I recently saw one of their kids. Of course, you got the Anciras.
Oh, yeah,
Ernesto's
now
a
they're
great
third generation on that.
Third generation.
And Ernesto's origin story is fantastic.
Oh, it really is.
And then the kids get involved, and now their kids are involved.
Right.
And we're much the same way. My grandfather started Brickstone, the other half of our company, in 1947 here in San Antonio.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so we're coming up on 80 years of family owned here.
Wow.
And with my kids now in the business, and I do have kids in the business here and in Corpus Christi, and yes, they'll eventually end up taking them over, thank God. At some point, I want to get out of here and have some fun.
Right.
No, I'm always having fun. But that's fourth generation for us now.
Wow.
Which is just amazing to me.
That's such a blessing. It really is.
And when you take over a family business, it's just somebody said, well, what was your goal when you took over your family's business, your dad's business and mom's business? And I said, not to embarrass them. That was my goal.
Yeah.
Don't embarrass my parents.
It's their name too.
Yeah.
Right.
And my kids have the same care for that name.
Good.
And I'd like to take all the credit, but they're just good kids.
There's a poignant scene. You ever see the movie? It's about when they caught, I think it was NBC. Keep bringing up another network, but we're CBS.
Who? Never heard of them.
CBS.
Never heard of them.
But it was the game show, and it was a $20,000 question, I think it was.
Yeah.
Or $65,000 question or whatever, and they caught him cheating when they were given the answers.
Oh yeah, that's Quiz Show.
Quiz Show is the name of the movie.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so there's a poignant scene where it all comes unraveled, it gets exposed, and the professor is the son of another famous professor. And this was the guy, he was on a Today Show, and it was just all, hitting big.
Piping all this stuff.
And the father was so disappointed. He's just grilling him about, how could you? How could you? And he's like, come on, don't worry about it. It's my name. And he goes, your name is my name. And I was like, whoa, what a line,
That's
man.
That's heavy, right?
It was so heavy.
And if you take that seriously, you will do anything and everything you can to have that name to live up to, And I think it's I think for any kid that gets into the business with their parents or their dad, their mom, whomever it is, in a family business, you're always inevitably at the beginning going to be compared to them.
Yes.
You can't avoid it.
That's exactly.
And I had people ask me early on, what, how do you feel about that? How do you, does it bother you that you're compared to your dad all the time? And I said, no. I said, I'd much rather have a dad that I have to live up to than one I have to live down.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good one too.
And
absolutely.
Then there's some point that the tide turns, and I'm not David's son anymore. David's, I'm his son.
Right.
Right. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
People know me for me.
Right.
And you just have to be patient. You have to do the right things.
And it's the generations, right? I mean, you know, the San Antonio now, it's you. You know, they won't know.
Yeah. And it's and still there are people that know my dad, and especially down in the Coastal Bend area, because that's where he started his Brickstone
Mhm.
after he opened his own after being with my grandfather. But yeah, there's a time whenever you start making a name for yourself if you do things right and you have the right support system behind you.
Yeah.
And I've been very, very blessed in this business, and it's a business I never thought I'd be in.
And it's such a great name, bro. Bomba.
I
It's a verb,
it's
right? I mean, it's like you've been bombed.
yeah.
You know, I think a lot of uses that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like bomba.
in a
Man, I bombed so late last night.
in a
I'm
central
so
or
tired. What are you doing this weekend? Bomba.
yeah, Bomba.
Yeah.
It's you find out real quick that you don't say that real loud in Central American countries
What does
or
it
South
mean?
American
Oh,
countries.
really?
It means
What-
bomb.
Oh, no.
Really?
Right. Yeah. Don't say it on an airplane.
I was telling the funny story about being in Italy, and we were there with it was a KENS trip actually.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a KENS trip, and we were there on a Windstar cruise, and we were in Florence. Yeah, Florence, and some friends that we had made on the trip, they went up in the Duomo all the way up to the top. Well, while they were going up to the top of the Duomo, my wife and I grabbed some gelato, and we're sitting in the piazza having a gelato. And about 10, 15 minutes later, they get up to the top, and I hear, Bomba! I look up, and I'm like, luckily, we were not all arrested.
Right,
Luckily,
yeah,
we were not all arrested.
Wow.
Oh, man. Got to take a break. I am being told we have to take a break.
got
You
it.
know about that,
Yeah,
right?
I know it
You
too
get-
well.
You have
Yeah,
hard stops
This
in
was
TV.
a nice segment. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, much more of a conversation with Bill Taylor. Wonderful, wonderful guy, and having so much fun. Y'all stick around. Hey, our thanks to Window World for sponsoring the Bomba Pod and making it possible. At Window World, you have a company that is going to be here to serve you for generations. With a fourth-generation ownership and local roots that run so deep, you're not going to find a better company to serve your home improvement needs. When it comes to windows, siding, doors, and so much more, look no further than Window World. And we have phenomenal financing options to fit your every need. Call us today, or better yet, come by one of our showrooms in San Antonio, New Braunfels, or Corpus Christi, and look us up online, windowworldtx.com in San Antonio and Central Texas, as well as windowworldcc.com in Corpus Christi in the Coastal Bend. Window World, service for generations. Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Bill Taylor on the Bomba Pod, and we are talking. I don't even know what we're talking
I know,
about.
right?
That's the best thing about this.
I love
is
this.
I have no
Yeah.
idea. I've
No
not,
script.
I've not picked up my notes once, and I'm
Oh, there are notes. I didn't even.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're-
You got it.
yeah. Who needs those?
Okay. I don't need my attorney, right? Okay. I don't know what's on those notes.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll save that for last.
We should be all right.
You know, we were talking about your vertical videos earlier, and you shoot these videos talking about short-term forecast and things like that, and you do some really good production on them.
Thank you.
I don't
Thank you.
have that skill. That's why I've got Dennis. But you have graphics up, and I mean, you do some stuff on these videos that I've never seen anybody do on basically a homemade video.
Thank you.
And you got your little pup running. What's your puppy's name?
Yeah, Bodie.
Bodie.
Yeah, Bodie's 14.
Bodie's cool,
He's
man.
a rescue dog from ACS. He was literally in the palm of our hand.
Oh,
I mean, he's something special. And now that at 14, he's like the little old man. But I tell you, he's still spry. He's still in good shape. Eats well. We get better food for him now. There's like elderly food.
yes.
That's like designed for older dogs.
Yep.
And I think that's making a difference.
We moved our old guy. We'd always serve dry, like not Purina, Blue Buffalo, is what we have typically fed our dogs throughout the years. But we've got a 16-year-old Maltipoo, and
16?
16,
Wow.
and he runs around like he's a puppy.
Seriously?
Nuts.
That really is.
So we got a 3-year-old miniature golden doodle, and he'll chase him around.
Come on.
Yeah, it's funny.
That really
I
is
mean, I
something.
expect him to have and
Right,
keel over
right.
during one of
16 is
these.
amazing, though.
Yeah, but he's such a good dog, but we moved him to Farmer's Dog.
Oh,
Not-
yeah?
not Farmer's Dog. What's the Fresh Pet?
Fresh Pet.
The soft.
Right.
Because his teeth are. You can't take the other stuff anymore.
Exactly, and that's where
He
Bodhi
loves
is.
that.
Yeah,
He
a little
loves that.
softer. I top it off with some hard that he just likes to
Yeah,
swallow.
just a little kibble.
Yeah, a little bit of that off the top. But yeah, I started using CapCut. That's a really good, easy, user-friendly app. And Jamie's in real estate, so she bought the premium that you pay for. There's a free CapCut, and then there's a premium one.
Yeah.
So now you get to do the captions that look a little bit better. You could do some fancier editing. I don't get into all that. I mean, I just, the caption thing is easy, and that's key.
Yeah.
You and I, look, my daughter started showing me, Dad, can we put the captions on? And I'm like, why? What do you want to put the captions on? It really makes a difference.
It does.
When you're watching a movie at home, just any movie, it doesn't have to be in another language. They really enjoy, and I call them the caption generation.
I used to hate that.
Yeah.
I'm
like, why are you making me work? Get them off. Get them off.
Get them off.
Right.
Well, and I think that part of it was vanity because I didn't want to admit that I couldn't hear some parts of it. I don't need those.
You just sit there and nod.
Yeah.
And they're like, and you had no idea what they said, right? You're just, hey, what? Everything's great.
Exactly. And I'm like, maybe there's something to that, honey. Let's put those captions on.
Now, I will say the one thing it will ruin because sometimes it's ahead.
It gets ahead.
And if there's a surprise person shows up on the scene or walks in the room, you see the name and it's before it happens. So it's kind of a little
Well, I've yet to watch
spoiler.
a horror film with the captioning. So I'm interested as to how that would change the dynamic.
Jump scare. Yeah, exactly. You see the jump scare. Watch out. But I've enjoyed it because now I am catching every piece of dialogue.
Yes.
And sometimes there's stuff that I've missed.
It's mumbled or it's in the background or whatever it is. But I've noticed that, and especially on procedurals, like crime procedurals, that there's stuff that is just little nuanced things that if you're not really, really paying attention, you miss them.
Right.
And the captions help with that.
And see, there's been an evolution too. The way shows and movies are edited, you notice it's literally 3 to 5 seconds and the shot changes.
Yeah.
It's just always moving.
Yeah.
And the same with dialogue, where I think older movies, you'll see the difference in how they're shot and how they're edited.
Very much so.
And it's just a difference that they would stay on that 2-shot or 3-shot or for a little bit longer. And now that's why I've always kind of thought there's some of this ADD that was almost bred into our children.
And was it that, or was it which came first?
Right.
Right. Was it their appetite for shorter clips and faster movement? And because, man, it's an epidemic.
Yeah, no, it really is.
If you don't have something constantly stimulating you, and in front of you, kids don't know what to do.
Exactly. And you put Looney Tunes, and Elmer Fudd and Daffy Duck, and then SpongeBob, and look at the difference in the editing and the color and the graphics. It's a world of difference.
So different.
And and that's what you're getting, right? You're getting kids. You just it creates that kind of anxiety.
How do you ever have it's anxiety inducing, and how do you ever have just peaceful moments?
Right.
Our brains need that.
Yes.
I think our souls need that.
Yes. 100%.
You got to have the time of reflection. You've got to have that time of peace and quiet and just being.
Be still and know that I am God.
There you go.
That's such a grounding statement. And in the original translation, it was to let go, to be still. Apparently I think it was Hebrew or Greek for sure, but I think it was Hebrew that said, because it's a psalm, to let go and know that I'm God. Be still. But now it has a layered meaning because of where we are in today's world.
Oh man.
Where people are trying to ingest too much information. And I mean, it's available with every notification on my phone, and then I get home, 24/7 news cycles, and it's too much. And we're not designed to hold it all.
We're not. My dad, he could remember everything. He remembered jobs and customers that he did 20, 25 years prior. He would remember addresses.
Wow.
And I'm lucky if I can remember why I went into the next room.
Right. I don't remember what I had for breakfast today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I find myself struggling to remember names that I should know very readily. And I asked my wife, I said, do you think that there might be something wrong with me? And she said, no, I don't think so. I think what it is your brain has a certain amount of capacity. And when you start overloading it, other things just kind of start getting filtered out inadvertently.
Yeah.
And now maybe that's true, maybe that's not. But I do think that the overstimulation and the saturation of information is in many ways unhealthy.
It really is, because we're not. Remember when science told us that we're only using 20% of our brain's capacity years ago?
Yeah.
And we're like, really?
Where are we at now?
I think that's by design. And where are we now?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's kind of like, look at the amount of anxiety. When you and I were in high school,
I didn't know what anxiety was.
Anxiety or depression, you were institutionalized.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
They were in a hospital.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, now it's like 9 out of 10 kids will say they battle with anxiety.
You're weird if you don't have it now.
Exactly. And part of it, again, there's an option. You don't have, but it's like it's too late. The horse is out of the barn, and kids are getting on phones earlier and earlier. I watched it with my 3 daughters. Carissa's now 27, going to be 28 in December. Kendall's 24, and Peyton's 20. Each of them got a phone like a year sooner. And Jamie and I were very, like, okay, you're going to have to be responsible enough. And Carissa was the generation of that first little phone that you could program what calls it received, what calls it made.
Right.
There wasn't even a number pad on it. It had like hot buttons.
Yep.
And so she was just in the game, but it started teaching them. It's like that little play set from, the cashier, and you get a little play credit card, and you're a little kid and they're like playing with credit cards already and just, getting that ready. It was the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when it came time for a phone, okay, let's do it. And again, if you can be responsible enough. But now it's constant feeds, constant, it's like a vital organ.
Well, having a 16-year-old back in our house, our granddaughter came to live with us this year. And, so for the school year, she's been in our house. And I forgot what it was like having a teenage girl in the house, number one. That's a whole challenge of its own.
But these are new teenagers too, bro.
But it's a whole different world.
Right?
She is completely consumed with her phone. TikTok, YouTube. If she doesn't constantly have that in her hand,
it's a vital organ.
It is.
Right.
It's almost like an appendage.
Yeah.
And we've had this talk with her several times. You need to limit how much you're on that phone. You need to, we're not trying to take it away from you, but you got to stop being on it all the time. Well, now we're going to program it to where you can only be on it so much.
Yeah, you can turn it off.
And I'm sure her head's going to explode, but
exactly.
She'll be fine.
My niece was
She'll
so funny. They were visiting from Louisiana. She will be fine. Absolutely.
She'll be better than fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And my nephew, he's like 10 years old. This is technically, I guess, a grandnephew, right? Or great nephew. Either way. He was in the bathroom with his phone. And he's in there. It was like 15, 20 minutes goes by. She turned it off she could turn it off from her phone.
That's beautiful.
And you hear from Mom, like from the bathroom. And she's like, get out of there.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. You're just wasting time now. You're just
either
in
need
there
a
with your
trip to
phone.
the doctor, or you need to put that phone up.
Right. And so that's what they're doing. They'll go to the bathroom.
Oh,
it's like, they're just in there on their phone.
She is all the time, and she'll hole up in her room, and it's a problem.
And as I do, compare to spare. It's programmed. All these social media sites, everything is compare.
Everything.
Compare. And it's never the worst part of life. Some of it is, but most of it is all the great things that are going on. The trips I'm taking, the concert I went to, the friends I'm with, the mall I'm at, what I bought, the life you're not having. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the life you probably will never have.
Yeah.
You'll never live up to that.
And it just drills it in them. Why don't I have that? I deserve that.
Yeah. And
it just compared to spare. That's just no way to live.
I don't know what the answer is to all this, but something's got to give.
Yeah.
At some point, something's got to give, because it is really an epidemic. Let's switch subjects a little
absolutely.
bit. We're getting heavy here.
Right, exactly.
So you weren't always in San Antonio. I mean, you feel like I feel like you've always been here. I mean, as long as I can remember, Bill's been talking about the weather and making it fun and entertaining for everybody. But what brought you to San Antonio?
KENS 5. Yeah, so I'm a Jersey guy. I grew up in Patterson, New Jersey. How you doing? What's going on? Jerry de Blasio, Mikey DeLucia, Ray Shiradio. These are my boys. Now, 2 out of 3 of those guys are in witness protection now. But no, I grew up. I left when I was 19 and went south, and that was the greatest blessing of my life. Mom and stepdad said, we're moving to Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Boy, that's a culture shock.
Whoa, where? And my whole family, what are you going to do in Louisiana, Billy? What are you going to do? Because my father's Irish, but my mom's family, Rocco, big Italian family.
Yeah.
And so all my aunts and uncles, they thought we were crazy that we're going to go to Louisiana. Because that's like, how often do you think about, Idaho?
You don't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like. I mean, down south to me was like Virginia, literally.
Right.
And so New Jersey and the New York area, there's a mindset. Some will call it arrogance, but a lot of them, like, the world doesn't exist outside of here. We can go visit those places,
right?
But we're coming back.
Yeah.
And they were the same way. They're like, you're going to come back. I mean, you're just going to go for a little bit. But we were so in love with the Southern Louisiana culture because it's Cajun. It's very welcoming.
It's one of my favorite cultures.
Oh, my goodness.
Really is.
It was so fun. And then when I heard those Cajun girls talk, I melted, Martin. And they were like, "Oh, son, come on, and I'm like, "Oh, what? What did you just say?"
I don't know what you said, but I sure liked it.
I said, "Get away from me and lose my number." I'm like, "Okay." And then it was the same with me. They were like, "Talk for us," and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" Because I didn't have that strong an accent, but I did go to speech therapy to lose what accent I had.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, so I wouldn't be saying scattered showers and, patchy fag, that you have to learn how to drop your jaw is what I learned. And it's patchy fog and scattered showers. And I had to go through those drills. Yeah. Enunciation, articulation, and tongue twisters and all those things to lose the accent. Because if you look at all the big broadcasters, especially network,
oh, yeah,
you don't know where they're from.
Nope. And that's by design.
It's by design. It's a neutral like Nora O'Donnell. San Antonio girl.
Yeah.
CBS, was the main anchor for years. You'd never know. You don't hear a Texas accent at all. She went to MacArthur High School.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like, it has to be neutral, or you have to be from Iowa, where there's no accent, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
But it's just, back to your question, KENS, I was in Montgomery, Alabama. So I finish up college in Lake Charles. I find television. I find my wife. All that happened in 6 years in this little Southwest Louisiana town, Lake Charles.
Now, was TV the plan all along?
No. I was an accounting major in New York and flunked out of accounting school. That was not for me. I still work in numbers.
I never went to accounting school, but I, too, would have failed.
Apparently, you're supposed to go to class, I'm like, whatever.
Sticklers about that.
They're real sticklers. I'm like, because that was back in the college days. There was no attendance. Yeah. Number one, the professors did not care. They were just like, we're getting paid. They told us
we're getting your parents' money anyway.
Exactly. Come, don't come. We don't care. I suggest you come.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to, and I'm like, did you just hear that? I'm asking. Like, we don't have to come back tomorrow?
That's the part I heard, too.
Oh, that's all I heard. And I'm by myself, I'm living on my own for the first time, and it was just a blast. And so, too much of a blast. Fraternity. I was on a debate team. That was a lot of fun. But when we moved south, then everything changed. Like, I was like, well, what am I going to do now? I flunked out. All right, we're going to regroup here. Went to McNeese State. I started marketing and business. I thought that would be the next step, right? And then I started hanging out with the guys at the Contraband newspaper. That was the college newspaper.
Okay.
Just friendships. And they were like, you should write an editorial. You'd be good at that. And people were like, really? Because I always had an opinion. I loved current events and politics. Like I said, debate team. I was always arguing and, just make counterpoint. I love that. And in good conversation. And I said, okay. And that's when I found the gift I had in writing and really enjoyed writing and writing columns. And so I started writing columns and I switched over to journalism. And that was how it was really born. And before I left Lake Charles, the weekend weather job opened up. I was working at a newspaper at the time. And I'm like, I could do the weather. Weekend weather? That's, Saturday, Sunday only, right? And so I went there and I auditioned. And by the grace of God, someone saw something I didn't know I had.
Had you ever taken meteorology at that point?
No.
Wow.
I was interested because of the dynamic change. Like when I moved south, weather was a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
And in New Jersey, you didn't really have hurricanes too often. There was one or two in my lifetime up there.
Blizzards is what you
Blizzards and
about.
nor'easters, you know, and so you didn't have life-threatening weather like you did in the South. And when I saw that, it was very interesting to me. And so once I was in journalism classes and I'm going through it, and then that weather job opened up, I said, well, that's interesting. And so I started doing it, and I started taking classes, and I started with Mississippi State, then went on to Penn State, all via online. But that's when I really grew a hunger for the science, and I was just like, this is fascinating. You know, just learning the physics of the atmosphere and understanding that there's such a fluid situation that we're in. You know, that I like to call we're in a, you know, river of air. You know, we're on the bottom of an ocean of air. You know, this atmosphere, just the way it behaves.
Atmospheric river is a term that I had never heard until this last year.
Yeah.
Atmospheric river.
Yeah, just the jet stream flow and a lot of it from the Pacific and how it can influence the West Coast and sometimes us. You know, we've been in a really quiet weather pattern for a while. But El Niño's coming in the spring, and so that should change things. I mean, in the fall. That should change things late summer, early fall in our weather pattern.
We need rain so bad.
Oh, bro.
Oh, my gosh.
It's extreme drought, and in some cases worse than the drought in the 50s. It really is.
Yeah.
In some categories. And
well, you know the situation.
Sometimes some will say in every category it is.
You know the situation in Corpus Christi, right?
With the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
dire.
you're talking about Corpus Christi.
This is
like
a major city.
And it's, you know, on the coast.
It's one of our biggest ports.
How could we have a water problem in a coastal city?
There's a lot of speculation, but poor planning is one. We didn't know that it's dry most of the time in South Texas.
Right.
Really? We
and
haven't known
I'll tell
that
you
for
what,
years.
too, Martin, in the real climate change, not to get into the politics of that, which is a real shame, but in the real science of climate change, the desert Southwest is migrating east. And so you're seeing us experience a lot drier condition, you know, and climate change. I mean, climate is the weather over a long period of time. It changes. It takes a long time, but it changes. Yeah. I mean, we were in an ice age. We came out of an ice age. Those are things that happened without us.
Right.
There were no SUVs. There were no factories.
You can speculate as to what causes it and what doesn't cause it and your political leaning, whatever that is, but you can't dispute it.
Exactly.
Climate change is happening. And
the
it's
language that
happening.
I try to teach children and students when I go speak about weather, look, we can't fight climate change. That's like you or me getting in the ring with Mike Tyson. I mean, it's not going to go well.
No.
It's going to change with or without you. You can do things to help alleviate the effects. That I'm all on board. But stopping climate change, there's no way. How do you stop the Earth from doing what it's doing and the sun and that relationship? I mean, we're spinning around the sun right now at approximately 60,000 miles per hour while tilted on our axis and rotating at a speed of about 800 miles per hour. So tell me again what you're going to be doing to get into any of that.
Oh, you're going to drive a Tesla.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's nothing. I had a scientist who knows a lot more about this than I do, a geologist, that said, we're like ants on a bowling ball. There's a lot of us, but we can't do anything to it. It's a planet. We're just on it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of but we're on less than 30% of it. What makes you think anything we're doing is having this major impact? It's having an impact, but it's minuscule.
Yeah.
The patterns of the sun cycles and the Earth are much bigger animals that are out of our reach. And so we can do things, like I said, locally, alternative energy, yes, and clean the air, yes, that'll all help. But you're not going to stop climate change.
No.
And this desert Southwest is kind of moving this way, and that's we're having drier years. What was it, 2-3 years ago? We had 13 inches of rain in 1 year. That's just.
That's nothing.
I mean, it makes me thirsty. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And we got to take a break. We're going to come back more with Bill Taylor, more weather, lots of other stuff too. I've got so much I want to get to with Bill. We'll be right back. Thank you so much to our sponsor, PJ's Coffee of New Orleans. If you want to try the very best small batch roasted coffee that you're going to find anywhere, look no further than PJ's Coffee of New Orleans. 2 great locations to serve you in the San Antonio area. at Camp Bullis and I-10 and at 281 and Bulverde Road. You're going to find all your favorites at both locations, from wonderful espressos, macchiatos, you name it, they've got it, as well as some delicious energy drinks, as well as our signature granita. And beignets, yeah, you bet we have them, and they are phenomenal. Be sure to stop by the PJ's closest to you and try any of our wonderful coffees, teas, and pastries. Thanks again to PJ's Coffee of New Orleans for sponsoring the Bomba Pod. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Bomba Pod. We're talking with my friend Bill Taylor, weatherman extraordinaire, and another aspect of your life that I think a lot of people may not know is that you're a member of the clergy, aren't you?
I am.
Tell me about that.
So I'm an ordained minister and an online pastor at Gateway Fellowship Church. This was something that came about 6 years ago, give or take. We were members of Gateway Fellowship for about 10, 11 years, Jamie and I. Great church. We just love. And when COVID hit, they were asking me to serve in a capacity where, I could lead a men's small group. Okay, let's do that. I had done that before, and so I was doing that. But then they were like, we really want you to serve on the team. And I said, okay, look, I'd prefer to be behind the scenes. I don't want to make it about me or anything, And so I was running pro presenter during services. One of the biggest things we do at Gateway, serve.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, for even the Son of Man didn't come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. So it was like Jesus saying, I'm God and I'm not even here to be served. How about you serve a little bit? How about you volunteer? How about you be an usher, be on the parking team? Just do something.
Yeah.
And so I started running what's called pro presenter, just the lyrics and the lower third
that
on the screen,
pops up on the screen
during the service, because then there would be scripture we'd put up on the, during a message. But then COVID hits. And so they were like, because of your skill set, we're going to go to online services. Would you be willing to do like a online warm up, just like maybe 10 minutes out from the beginning? Welcome to Gateway Online, yada, yada. And this would go on our website, YouTube, Facebook, and we're still doing it. Here we are 6 years removed from that. And so I've moved into that kind of as an online pastor mode. I still have a men's small group. And then that led to, I want to say now 3 years ago, bringing a message on a Sunday, and that's been really special. I mean, I've just been so blessed to prepare a message. We do a lot of series presentations, I'll call them, where we get into a topic for a good, I would say, average 4 to 5 weeks. And each week, it's not a succession. I mean, it's not like if you miss week 2, you won't understand week 3 or anything.
Right.
But they all have a theme.
But all an underlying message.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this, we just wrapped up Forgotten God, and we talked about the Holy Spirit. Like a lot of, just what is the Holy Spirit? Who is he? Why was he so important? How do you tap into that power? All those kind of things. And it was each week was a different topic about the Holy Spirit. It's been great. And I'll tell you, it's once again what he's given me for weather and now to use in this capacity and context is the greatest feeling in the world. I just love preparing them. You're so blessed in the presence of God in preparing one, doing the research and reading, learning, just writing how you're going to bring it. And it's been great.
And I think that you hit on something that a lot of people don't realize who don't serve and don't give of themselves freely to certain causes, and yes, at church, but also just in daily life, having a servant's heart. It took me a long time to realize the joy that brings.
Mm-hmm.
It's from a selfish standpoint, I can't not do it because it makes me feel so good.
It does.
And there's no drug that can do that.
Right.
There's no alcohol that can do that. And I think a lot of people miss that. I think that they think, oh, no, it's just, it's time that I got to, they just want my time. They just want my money. No, you get something out of it, believe me.
Absolutely, Martin. I went that route. I was so much more selfish than selfless. And that old Billy Taylor will show up once in a while.
Yeah.
And I pray.
I'm right there with you, brother.
I'm like, resist.
As a younger man.
Submit, 100%.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, real life, the abundant life that Jesus talks about is found in serving. And remember, when he was asked, what are the two most important commandments? And it wasn't of the 10. It was all the 600 plus Jewish laws that these guys followed, from eating, from, Sabbath, all of it. It included the commandments, but there were so many other laws that they had. What are the two most important? And he said, love God and love others, basically.
Pretty simple.
Very. And you stick to that formula. Like you said, you start volunteering at the food bank. It doesn't have to be in church. I mean, it's just loving others.
Oh, but
love San Antonio's
I'm not
own.
religious. I don't go to church. Church. I got burned by church. Who hasn't been burned by a church?
Exactly.
Come on. But if you were, and that's how you feel, I get you.
Yeah.
You can still be a Christian. You can still be a servant without ever stepping foot in a church.
You know how much need is in this city?
Oh my God.
I mean, you see
so much.
This city, it's exciting, but at the same time, living right alongside of it is this increasing need. Project Marvel, it's going to be awesome. Yes, I'm excited. I'm so excited about that. But at the same time, poverty in the city of this size
rising.
Is unbelievable.
You see more and more people sleeping under bridges. You see more and more people panhandling.
Yep.
Did you do the Trey Ware thing this past one that you did?
Oh, I didn't. I missed it.
Ride for Hunger.
Yeah.
A ride to end hunger. It's just staggering to me the amount of people that are and I didn't joke about it. It's not a joking matter. There's nothing funny about it. But I think the term that they used was food deficient or
food insecurity.
Food insecurity. Isn't that a soft way of saying there are people starving?
There's people that are going to bed hungry, and I'm talking about real hungry. Like we'll say, oh man, I'm starving. I'm so hungry right now. Really? Let me ask you something. Hungry is when you don't know where the food's going to come from.
Yeah.
Like imagine yourself hungry, just like you're saying, but you don't know where it's going to come from. That changes everything.
And you can't just grab a burger.
No.
And you can't just reach for a snack.
And to know that that's happening in a city that's thriving like San Antonio is, the 7th largest city, we probably crack like the top 5. That we're saying we're going to pass up Philadelphia. They're saying we're going to pass up DFW in the Austin to San Antonio corridor.
That does not surprise me.
No, not at all. And at the same time, we have people that are going to bed hungry tonight under a bridge. So find that service. There's a servant heart in all of us. It's how we were designed. And once you tap into it, once you start just even praying for others, how can I pray for you? And one of the things that my wife and I try to do is when we're sitting at a table, if we're out to eat for lunch, we're getting the food comes, we're getting ready to pray. Is there anything we can pray for you? And I have seen people stop and look at me, and they give you that look like, it's happening. Life is hitting hard. And I need some prayer. And I'm just like, how can we pray for you? And you're meeting people like it just happened at Alamo Cafe. Sarah, a mom, 13-year-old daughter. And she's like, can you just pray for my daughter? It's a really tough relationship right now. I love her, but sometimes I really don't like her. I get that, man.
And doesn't
3 daughters.
Hasn't everybody been there at some point? If you reach a certain age, you've seen that. You've been there.
If you stay isolated and you don't share and help, what God has done in me, now I want to do through others and into others' lives, because He's saved my life, man. I mean, between, like I said, I was so selfish and chasing alcohol and drugs and everything that pleased me and destroying as many lives as I could to get what satisfied me. But once I turned it around and gave my life to Him 100%, because there were many years I always believed in God, but there were many years that I tried walking with God while still holding hands with the devil.
Yeah.
Still trying to hold on to a few of my little secret sins. I kind of, it's like you have the house and you have that one room that he can't go in, right? Like you can come sit in the living room. Let's go to the kitchen. But you know that upstairs, that's my room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my man cave. You can't go in there. That's my place. No, I gave him keys every room. Every door's open now because.
And what a difference.
The abundant life, bro, the peace and the joy. Now, life still happens. Come on. Don't think that, that's another lie that's been constructed, that if you do this, everything's going to be great.
I don't think God ever promised that, did He?
No.
Did He say if you're a Christian, everything's going to be easy?
Right? You will have trials.
Yeah.
When you have tribulation. I mean, that's how it's put. Not if, not maybe.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. And so, but take heart. I've overcome the world. Blessed is the heart that is set on Zion, that thinks about the future. You know, that when you're going through the tough stuff, know that he's there, that he does help with strength beyond understanding. You know, he is the strength in weakness. It really is when it happens. Because I look at it this way, this is the only time of our lives that we're going to experience God's strength. Because we won't need it in heaven. We'll be in his presence.
Right.
We're in eternity. There's no sorrow. There's no pain. There's no trouble. There's no cancer. There's no Alzheimer's. It's all gone. You're in the presence of God. You're in heaven. So this is the only time that you see the miracles, the strength, the companionship, the love, the compassion, the understanding, you know, of God. And the more scripture you read, the more prayer, the more time you spend with him, you know, and that's one of the things, you know, you say, like, how can we do this? What can we do? Like with your 16-year-old granddaughter. Teach them abiding in God. Teach them a prayer time where there's no phone, where there's no outside noise. There's a worship song on. There's a quiet time. That's why I love the quiet in the morning. I try to get up before Jamie now. I used to get up before the kids and just spend that time.
There's a special piece to that.
Yes.
There really is, where there's a connection that you don't have the distractions of the day, and you're as busy as any guy I know. And, you know, so it can be easy to get distracted after you get rolling.
Yeah.
So setting that time aside at the very beginning of the day is exceptionally important.
It really is. No, it really is. Seek first the kingdom of God. And it just really makes a difference in the rest of your day. Again, life's still going to hit. It's still going to be, there's still going to be pain.
But I'd rather be walking it with my brothers and sisters, man,
Right.
alone.
Right. And that's the other part. Talk about it. Don't just retreat and, man, it's such a bad, no, there's no, to me, remember there was a guy that wrote this years ago, motivational, Bruce, man, I can't think of his last name, but from Louisiana days. There's no such thing as a bad day. And I remember he had that principle years ago, and he used to speak on it as a motivator. There's bad things that happen within a day. Don't write off the rest of the day. This moment right now is the beginning of the rest of the day.
That
happened this morning.
Beautiful attitude.
Yeah. If you, it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm having such a bad day. Now everything that happens makes everything worse. Instead of, okay, that happened, let me put it behind me. It's like when I play golf. I hit a bad shot. Okay, let me learn and hit the next best shot. You know, focus on the next shot.
Golf's where I falter.
Why do they call it golf? Because every other four-letter word was taken.
That's correct.
You know?
That's correct. I joke it's the devil's game. You know, there's just that carrot of that one really good shot or that one really good putt, and it keeps you coming back. No matter how bad you know you are, you still think, oh, I'm going to get better.
Right. And then you come out thinking you're going to fire like, you know, Tiger Woods. I'm going to hit this drive. I'm going to play great, you know?
Yeah. Or you hit this one really, really nice long, I mean, just straight as an arrow right down at 220, 240 yards, beautiful drive. And you're like, oh, my driving's really improved until the next one does that.
Yeah,
you know?
It's a humbling game, man. It really is. But there's a lot of life lessons, you know, follow through.
Yeah.
Keep your head down. Keep your head down and follow through. You could take that into every aspect of the day and of life. And it's the golf game. It's the golf swing. And it's just a matter of perspective, you know, and beginning with the right perspective. God loves you. You know, Buckner Fanning, who I know you know who that was.
Sure, of course.
One of my favorite quotes from him, God doesn't love everybody. He loves each and every one of us. He loves each and every one of us.
And he knows you.
Yes.
He knows you. And he wants to know you better.
Yes.
Brilliant stuff, man.
But he's a gentleman. Like we've talked about with the Holy Spirit. He won't force himself ever. That's why bad things happen.
Yeah.
Right? We're in a fallen world. A lot of bad things happen every single day. Good things happen to bad people. Bad things happen to good people. You don't live on circumstances and things that happen.
Yeah.
Live on the principles of God, knowing that everything the Bible says, I believe to be true. And living by that standard improves life. That is a fact.
Absolutely.
It really does.
So after getting back to golf, after that brilliant round of golf, I understand you like to have a little glass of vino.
Yes.
What's your favorite of the day right now? What's your favorite? And I assume you're a red drinker.
I like Cabernet and Merlots more than, but I'll drink whites too. You know,
There's certain whites I like.
Yeah. I can't think of one like off the top of my head what I really like the names because I'm just not a wine person. I enjoy a glass of wine.
Yeah, but you know you like it when you like it.
Right. And I have a neighbor from California that's like a wine connoisseur, has a huge, and when he would, he's like, I'm going to open up a good bottle tonight. I'm like, oh yeah. Okay.
I
it's
coming.
Be there. And it's like that fruity, just such a good taste.
Velvet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smooth. Yeah, it's something special. I do enjoy that. Jamie and I both. And it's one of those things like it's made even here have good wines, that are just natural,
There were some really
something about that.
Good wineries in Fredericksburg.
That's something I haven't done that we haven't done
really?
Yet. We haven't really. I've seen them, but I haven't like really gone up and enjoyed them.
You and Jamie and Debbie and I need to get together.
Let's do it
and get a wine thing going and take a trip up
a
there.
Little tour up there.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
we did Napa one time years
place.
ago, but we've never done Fredericksburg.
Love Napa.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Debbie and I have been there a couple of times, Calistoga and Napa both, and really loved them. But Fredericksburg is just a hidden gem of a wine trail.
Yeah,
and it's absolutely wonderful.
Now, one thing, the dry climate does help them a little bit.
Yeah, but a lot of the grapes that are used to vent the wine in Fredericksburg come from the Texas High Plains. In fact,
really,
a lot of them come from the Texas High Plains. So the Tempernios that you find here, those are all Lubbock and above in that area.
Wow.
Yeah, they've got some really great vineyards up there.
So you're a red?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And Cabernet over Merlot, or
Cab over Merlot.
Pinot.
I like Pinot. Pinot's a little light, but for me, a really good full-bodied cab, something like a Frank family cab, which is a really attainable cab. It's not. I'm not a guy that wants to go out and spend $185 retail on a bottle of wine.
Right, and you can. Yeah,
you can.
Bro, listen. HEB. Don't go to sleep on HEB's wine list.
Oh no.
And I work with Sarah Duran. She does our morning traffic and news anchor. Her father had arguably one of the greatest jobs in the history of employment. He was the wine buyer for HEB.
Oh.
I know. You want me to say it again slower? Wine buyer for HEB.
That's a dream job.
He traveled the world, saw the best wineries on the planet, and was like, yeah, I like that. And they were all trying to sell to him because HEB is a great player. Everybody, like in the grocery business, they're known.
They're
nationally.
big time.
Yes, and everybody likes working with them. They're a standard. A lot of Texans, we just shop there because it's our grocery store. No, in their arena, in their space, they're so highly respected. And so he's retired now, but wow. I was just like, wow, what a gig. Didn't see that on Indeed.com.
No, I never see that. No,
didn't
never.
catch that one on Craigslist.
LinkedIn never has that. Well, listen, man, I know you got to go. I got to go. I could sit here and talk with you all day.
Let's do this again.
We got to do this again.
And we're doing the winery. Let's bring our wives up there.
Let's absolutely do
That'd
that.
be
I
great.
think Debbie would be. I don't have to guess. She'll be down with that. She's gonna love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk to your better half.
Absolutely.
And let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
One last question before we get out of here, and this one comes from my son-in-law. He's got a good sense of humor sometimes. He said, "I want you to ask Bill if he's ever thought about making up a forecast just to mess with the audience."
Wow! Right? Just
something outlandish.
Just outlandish. There's a chance of hail the size of canned hams. It's awfully tempting because you've got the power and you've got the sense of humor, right?
Bill Taylor, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bill, thanks so much for being
Martin.
here.
Great
we'll
to
see you
be
the
here.
next time on the Bomba Pod. Thank you for tuning in to the Bomba Pod. If this episode encouraged you, share it with a friend, post it, and help us spread the inspiration. Special thanks to our producer, Dennis Ayotte, and to our sponsors, Window World and PJ's Coffee of New Orleans, for helping make these conversations possible. I'm Martin Bomba, and remember, your story matters, your voice matters, and your impact starts now. Until next time, go out and spread some kindness. Make the world a better place. The views expressed on this show by the guest or the host may not reflect those of our sponsors.